Hello friends. Most Windows users who have never used GNU Linux often think that installing apps and software in Linux is complicated. But in reality, this is nothing more than a myth that needs to be busted once and for all. So, in today's video, I will show you the two most easy and commonly used methods to install apps and software in Linux. So without further ado, let's begin. Currently, by far the easiest way to install apps and software in GNU Linux is by using a graphical software manager. Today, almost all popular Linux distributions come with a desktop environment, and most of them include a built-in app store or a graphical software manager, where you can browse, search, install, update, or remove software using a simple point-and-click interface. To open the software manager, first hit the super key in your keyboard. Then search for the term software. In a desktop environment like GNOME and Cinnamon, this app store is simply known as Software Center. In KDE Plasma, it is called Discover. And in other desktop environments like Unity, Cosmic or Pantheon, it is labeled as App Center. So click whatever you see according to your desktop environment and it will open the app store for you. When the App Store opens up, click the search button and type the name of the app you want to install. Let's say, for example, we want to install VLC Media Player. So type VLC in the search bar and the result will list all the options. Next, select VLC from the list and click the install button. Now the software manager will ask for your password because for security reasons, GNU Linux requires admin permission to install as well as uninstall software. So enter your password and wait for the app to get installed. And it is done. When the installation is completed, you will find the newly installed apps in the application menu. When there is new update available for these installed apps, they will appear in the Updates or Manage section of the software manager. Just click the Update All button and it will update the software along with your whole system. To uninstall any installed app, again open the Software Center and just like before, search the name of the application. Then select it, but this time click the Uninstall or the Remove button. Then enter your password and within seconds, the app will vanish from your system. Okay, now let's say for some reason, you are not using a popular Linux desktop environment but a lightweight one like XFCE, Mate, LXDE or LXQT, and that too over a Debian or Ubuntu based distro. Then in this scenario, there is a high chance that you will not find the kind of app store I just mentioned. Rather, you will find something called Synaptic Package Manager. But do not let the dated interface of Synaptic fool you. It is a very powerful and highly reliable software manager. When you open Synaptic, it will first ask you to enter your password. Once you do that, an info page will appear on screen, which will give you all the basic informations about what the Synaptic Package Manager is and how to use it properly. Next, when using Synaptic, first thing you must always do is hit the reload button. Doing this will make sure that you always get only the updated software and packages. Now to search for an app, first hit the search button on the top right corner and type the name of the software you want to install. Let's take GIMP for an example. Then hit enter. The result will list multiple options, but you have to find your preferred app. And here is GIMP. First, right click over it and select Mark for installation. Once you do that, a new summary screen will appear and show you all the dependencies that will be installed along with the app. Click Mark to select them all. Then hit the Apply button on the top and then Apply again. Once the installation is done, a Changes Applied dialog box will appear on the screen as a confirmation. Just close it and go to the application menu. And there we have GIMP installed. When it comes to updating these installed apps, first refresh the software repository by clicking the reload button. And then click this Mark All Upgrades button, which will automatically select all the software and packages that needs to be updated. Then click Apply and then Apply again. Eventually, this will update all your installed apps and software along with your whole system. To uninstall an app, again search for the name of the application and select it. Then right click on it, but this time you have to select Mark for complete removal. Then click the Apply button and apply again. And within few seconds, the app will be removed from your system. Now tell me, what will you do if somehow a situation arises where you do not have any access to any kind of graphical app store? In that case, the best way to manage apps and software in Linux is by using this next method. If using a graphical software manager is the easiest way, then using the command line interface with native package managers is the most efficient way to install apps or software in Linux. Because no matter which Linux distribution you use, it always comes with a terminal emulator and a native package manager. Native package managers are specialized software tools that are built into the Linux distribution to automate the installation, configuration, and removal of software and other packages. Even the previously mentioned graphical app stores use a native package manager in their backend. As the name suggests, native package managers handle packages that are native to a particular Linux distribution. For example, apt and dpkg are native to only Debian and Ubuntu-based distros. DNF and RPM are native to Fedora and Red Hat-based distros, and Arch-based distros use Pacman. Though these are not the only ones, but more than 90% of the Linux distros use one of these package managers. Many new Linux users get nervous upon hearing about the terminal and the command line, but actually they are very simple and much faster than clicking through menus. Plus, a terminal will always be available in a Linux distro even if you do not have a graphical software manager to install apps. To start a terminal emulator, first hit the super key on your keyboard, then search for the term terminal. Remember, the naming scheme of the terminal emulators might be different depending on the desktop environment you are using. Some simply call it terminal, some call it console, and some call it console with a K. But no matter what they are called, they all functions the same, and all their logos look very similar, and angle bracket over a dark background. Once the terminal is opened, you can use some Linux commands. But if you do not know what native package manager your distro is using, then first use these commands to identify. Do not worry, you will find all the commands I am using in the blog post I have linked below. This command will show which package manager your Linux distro has. If you are on Debian or Ubuntu, you will see /user/bin/apt. If you are on Fedora or Red Hat, then you will get /dnf. And if you are on Arch, then the result will show /pacman. After you have identified your native package manager, it is always the best practice to update your system software repository before installing any new software. This will make sure you always get the most up-to-date apps during installation. So, use these commands according to your distro branch. Once you enter the command in terminal, it will ask you to enter your password. Do it and the software repository will be refreshed. Now to install a new package or software, you can use these commands according to your distro. Just change the package name with the name of your software. For example, to install Shortcut Video Editor, you can use this command. Again, if the terminal asks you to enter your password, do it and your software will be installed. Next, in GNU Linux, you won't have to update software separately. Instead, when you update the system, it takes care of the software update as well. So, to update your system, use these commands. And to uninstall or remove a software, you will have to use these ones. Again, just change the package name with the name of your software and hit enter. If the terminal asks you for your password, enter it and the software will be removed from your system. And as I mentioned earlier, if a scenario arises when you do not have any access to a graphical app store, in that case too, you can install one with the help of a terminal and a native package manager. Installing apps and software on GNU Linux might seem different at first, but in reality it is much more simpler and safer than you think. These two mentioned ways are two of the most common methods, but they are not the only ones. You can install apps using Universal Package Manager, distro-agnostic package managers, third-party installers, and by using binaries as well as compiling from source. However, for most new Linux users, Graphical Software Manager and terminal commands with native package managers covers 99% of the needs. Plus, they are very safe to use. Unlike Windows, where you download .exe files from random websites and hope they are safe, Linux uses verified software repositories which are maintained by the distro developers, where every package is checked and verified. And unlike Windows, where you have to update every app individually, Linux updates everything centrally, from the operating system to apps and drivers, in just one click. So there you have it. Now open the App Store and install whatever software you want. And if you are feeling adventurous, try the terminal method. Just copy the commands from the blog post, paste it and hit enter. You will be surprised to see how fast it is. And if you want more Linux beginners guides, check out my other videos. Links are in the description below. And then drop a comment. What is the first app you installed on Linux and which method did you use? And if this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.